What up, tag team? We have multiple championship matches, a San Juan street fight, and we have a beast versus a nightmare. More after the intro.
T.A.G.
That's tag shit.
Free fall as I die through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really want.
What up, peeps? It's the Leco Champion, ScooterRay here, and I'm here to talk about last night's WWE Backlash. Now, I'm letting y'all know this out the gate. I don't care what the net is saying. I don't care what your friends are saying. Whatever. This show was flames. Flames. There was two matches that was really just flames. Like there was two matches that was like up here, but overall the show was not bad. Considering it was pretty much a thrown together, hey, we doing this for a pay-per-view, and it seemed like the build-up wasn't there for certain things. Overall, flames. Flames. But you know what? Let's get into it. The first match of the night for the Raw Women's Championship. We have SmackDown superstar Bianca Belair and SmackDown superstar Io Sky. The caveat to this match is if Bianca retains, she will become the longest reigning women's champion of the modern era. So history is on the line. And boy, these two women delivered. This is probably the best women's match in WWE this year. So far. I'm trying to remember everything in January, February, March, and in April. But so far, this is contender for not only match of the year, but definitely women's match of the year. These two ladies showed up and showed out. Not only that, but showed out so much so that it looked credible for Io to win. And not only did it look credible for Io to win, the crowd, though the crowd was cheering for both, they was clearly wanting Io to win. Clearly. Like, it should have been one of them things had it not been for the fact of Bianca chasing history. They should have called an audible. They should have called an audible and just said, you know what? Let Io go ahead and take it. But I think due to the fact of Bianca chasing history was on the line, they showed up and showed out. Now, of course, the match got a little muddy because Damage Control, Bayley and Dakota had to interfere, which ultimately the interfering costed Io the W. But whoever produced this match, and to those two ladies, Bianca, Io, all the flowers. Now it's interesting to see what's going to happen with this because are Rhea and Bianca gonna just switch, or how's that gonna work? But I can't tell y'all enough to seek this match out. If there was any other match, if you had to watch one or two matches from this show, seek this one out, and definitely the one that in actuality should have been the main event. But definitely seek this match out. For an opening match, it was a banger. Banger. 5 stars for me. I hardly rate matches like that, but this is 5-star match for me. Easily. But Bianca retains, so she will go down as the longest reigning women's champ of the modern era. Black girl magic. Can't be mad at it. And to be perfectly honest with you, she's deserving. The work she's put in, her popularity, it makes sense. It makes sense. Now, ultimately, with her going to SmackDown, who's going to take that belt up off of her? You know, is it going to be a Charlotte situation, or somebody new, somebody fresh? Because once again, I wouldn't have been mad if Io went over, because the way the crowd was going for her and the way that match went, I wouldn't have been mad if Io won. Wouldn't have been mad at all. Next up, a surprisingly not bad match. You had Seth freaking Rollins. I know, I mean, it's Seth freaking Rollins versus the Nigerian giant Omos. When they first announced this match, it was random AF. It was like, so why are they beefing? And one time on Raw, they referenced the fact that I forgot when, but Rollins had stomped Omos, and all of a sudden, Omos wanted his get back. Of course, in the draft, Rollins is going to be a Raw superstar. Omos is a free agent, so he's able to go between both shows. But surprisingly, not a bad match. Once again, I've always loved when WWE goes to different countries, because you get to hear the responses, because they don't get to see these superstars often. One of the more infamous ones in the modern era is when NXT went to London, and I forgot who Bayley even wrestled, but literally from Bayley coming out to that end, the crowd serenaded Bayley, because that's when she was in her happy fun time gimmick with the Bayley buddies and everything, and they serenaded her literally from when she hit them, from when her music hit, all the way up until she left. And was she going against Nia Jax? I forgot who Bayley was going against. I can't remember. It was a while ago, but it was NXT. But I've always loved when the WWE goes to different countries and you get to see the different people they cheer for. Because once again, Rollins is over. At this point, there should be no doubt that Rollins is over. Between the serenading of his music, between his talent, he doesn't get booed. He can go out there and just diss the crowd, and they'll still eventually, whoa. Rollins is over. So, of course, coming into this match, there's already a superior mismatch. Rollins 6'2", Omos 7'2", 7'3". And I think they said Omos was like a whole 200 pounds on Rollins, but they did the big man, little man, where the big man started off doing big man things, punches, throwing around, showing that what you do ain't nothing to me, fam. Nothing to me. Of course, they had to start doing it to where Rollins had to start chopping down that redwood. He had to start chopping down that tree. So he started going for the knees and legs. You know what I'm saying? Had to bring him down to size. Which there was at one part where Omos was like on his knees. And the fact that he was still like damn near Rollins' height. Because Rollins and I are like the same height. So it's crazy that Omos on his knees was still just big. Earlier in the match, Rollins tried to go for a stomp, and Omos was like, nah, fam. Like, he didn't even budge. Like, he was on his hand. Like, how, they take the stomp where you're on the hands, and he didn't budge. It was like, a word? But it got to the point to where Rollins wore him down. He hit like 2 stomps in a row. Omos still kicked that. And it was like, so Rollins, what you gonna have to do, fam? like, how you gonna topple that giant? Because then Omos started to come back, and it was like, oh shit, Omos could actually take this thing. But ultimately, Rollins chopped him down again, and he jumped from the second or third rope. He jumped from one of them ropes and stomped him from there. And 1, 2, 3, Rollins gets the dub, and the crowd serenades Rollins with his song. And yeah, wasn't a bad match at all. Next up, United States Championship, Austin Theory, who's now SmackDown superstar, Bronson Reed, Raw superstar, and Bobby Lashley, SmackDown superstar, for the United States Championship. This triple threat bred at the fact that Lashley and Reed was already in a beef, and it ended up, you know how like when you watch them old cartoons where the cartoon characters start fighting and they in that little dust cloud rolling, and then there's always another character be like, oh wait, whoa, and it kind of happened that way. It was really between Bobby and Bronson, and Bobby went against Theory, and then triple threat match. Yeah. Once again, it wasn't a bad match. It was very reminiscent to the triple threat at Survivor Series, when it was Theory, Rollins, and Lashley, said that replaced Reed this time around. And there was times I was kind of feeling a little I ain't gonna say sorry for Theory, but there was times where, you know, the Beefy Boys was, you know what I'm saying, it was definitely big meaty man slapping meat, and Theory was, you know, the casualty of it. You know, there was one time in the match where Theory got Bronson up, and it was like, okay, Theory putting in that work. But ultimately, very reminiscent to the Survivor Series match I referenced. Ultimately, Bronson had Theory down. Bronson went for a moonsault. Theory moved. When Reed popped up from missing the moonsault, turned around into Lashley spear. Theory grabbed Bobby, yeet, out the ring. 1, 2, 3. Theory retains. And Bobby was there just like, a word. That's what we doing. That's what we doing, Theory. You gonna just steal it? That's cool. You gonna just steal it like that? That's what's popping in these streets like that? You gonna just steal the match from me? All right, cool. Cool. But yeah, and like I said before, Theory being now a SmackDown superstar, Bobby being a SmackDown superstar, and Reed is now Raw. So interesting to see how that all plays out, especially with the World Heavyweight Championship tournament triple threat thing happening, which I'm probably gonna touch up on that at the end of the video, because they doing some interesting things with that one. So one of my overlays disappeared. I'm trying to stall for time so I can get it up and going. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get it up there because y'all deserve to see it. So if y'all see a double screen pop up, just ignore it. But yeah, so I think it was beneficial for Theory to retain, because especially now since Imperium is on Raw with the Intercontinental title, it makes sense for Theory to retain and keep the United States Championship on SmackDown. Of course, you know, it's the how he retained it's always gonna be the controversy thing because it's like, oh wow, he pulled some conniving. He did some. Look, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Like I said, it was two beefy boys having a brawl, and he had to do what he had to do. Next up, if it comes up, hold on one second. There you go. We have the Eradicator, aka Mommy, versus. Sorry, we have the Eradicator, aka Mommy, Rhea Ripley, SmackDown Women's Champion, versus LWO's Zelina Vega. You know, she requested this match because they was wrestling at Puerto Rico, and she was like, I have to be at Puerto Rico. Like, I have to be there. I have to represent for my peoples. Like, I need this. I know who I'm going up against. I know who she is and what she could do, but I need this. This is Mommy's first title defense since winning back at WrestleMania. So here we go. Rhea comes out, you know, white and purple. Zelina comes out Puerto Rican up. Like, she the Puerto Rican flag up. Like, she even had a giant flag attached to her arms. That way when she, you know, did the wingspan, boom, giant Puerto Rican flag. She had mom, brother, I think it was uncles, all there ringside, and they was gonna do the damn thing, and they did. It actually wasn't a bad match. I mean, unfortunately, going into it, you kind of know how it was gonna go, unfortunately, but it wasn't a bad match at all. You know, Zelina was trying to use her speed, quickness to get away from Rhea, while Rhea, you know, power game, word to Samoa Joe. And ultimately, the power game caught up to her. Riptide, 1, 2, 3. Rhea left, let Zelina have her moment with the fans and everything. And, you know, because, like, even in the beginning when they was doing the introduction, you could tell the emotions would get to Zelina. Like, she was in tears because it was like, I'm wrestling in Puerto Rico. I get to wrestle in front of peoples. And the crowd, you know how basketball has like the 6th man of the year? The crowd, the real MVPs of this whole night. The crowd was no short of excitement, like almost throughout the whole show. The crowd was just there, and they also made everything just mwah. Like I said, I'm not gonna have too much negative to say about Backlash because ultimately I enjoyed the hell out of this pay-per-view. Oh, sorry, premium live event. But per the draft, LWO is, I think, are they Raw Superstars? They say on SmackDown. I can't remember where the LWO landed, but Judgment Day are Raw. So once again, I wonder on Raw, are they going to just swap belts? Next up, this next match should have been the main event. San Juan Street Fight, Judgment Day's Damian Priest versus Bad Bunny. People, this was easily match of the night. This was fun. This was just as fun at watching Zayn and Johnny Knoxville last year at WrestleMania. This match right here had no business being that good. Earlier in the night, Savio Vega showed up and he gave Bad Bunny a Puerto Rican decked out kendo stick to use in the match, and Priest and Bunny went out there and did the thing. And the beauty of Bad Bunny, he takes bumps. And when I say he took some bumps and even did some spots. So it wasn't like Bad Bunny is one of them people where, nah, fam, you ain't gonna slam me on the mat, but maybe about once or twice, or you know. you can tell when, I don't know how this partnership happened. I don't know if Bunny came to them or they came to Bunny, but you could tell Bunny was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. Like, it's not a spectacle. It's not a I'm just doing this for play. At some point, we're gonna have to acknowledge Bad Bunny, Logan Paul, and Pat McAfee. I'm just saying. When it comes to celebrity wise, and if you want to throw in an unofficial fourth, Stephen Amell. I'm just saying. Like, Bad Bunny is doing it. Dives, bumps, spots, all of it. They had fun. Both Puerto Rican heritage, Bad Bunny being from Puerto Rico, and the crowd was just insane for Bunny. Whatever song he had playing, the crowd was singing word for word. I don't think not one person was going for Damian Priest. This was fun. This is easily the match of the night, and I would not have been mad if they said this was the main event. I wouldn't have been mad at all. And I can even appreciate the fact that they gave them time. Like, they had time. Like, they wrestled for a minute. Carlito made an appearance to help out because eventually Judgment Day, Finn and Dominic shows up. Carlito, well, first Ray came out to try to even, and it wasn't working out. Then Carlito comes out, and it was like, will y'all go ahead and re-sign this man already? Because Carlito is yoked. Like, when he came back, what was that, 2021? For that brief stint, it was like, if y'all don't go ahead and re-sign this man, I'll wait. But I still have a video to do. But then eventually Savio Vega and the rest of the LWO come out and they chase Judgment Day away. Ultimately, Bad Bunny won. I mean, he even like Michinoku Driver and Falcon Arrowed. Like, Bad Bunny got some strength. Not strength. Like, he was picking Priest up and slamming them and stuff. Bad Bunny got some strength. But ultimately, Bunny gets that dub. And, you know, big celebration. And honestly, if that would have ended the show, actually, it would have been better because the last two matches, to me personally, were kind of on the lower end, but they were still entertaining to see. But once again, Bad Bunny, I don't know what's his contract status after this match, but like I said, Damian Priest and the Judgment Day are officially Raw starting today. 6-man tag, Riddle, KO, Zayn versus the Bloodline. The Bloodline are SmackDown superstars. KO and Owens are Raw superstars. And I can't remember off the top of my head where did I say KO and Riddle? KO and Zayn are Raw superstars, and Riddle, I can't remember where he fell. Of course, the Bloodline is trying to get their get back. And not only that, but there's also kind of been some dissension because we don't know if Solo on a mission against the Usos or not, but it played out a little bit in this match. This match was okay. I guess too, coming off of that high of that street fight, this was okay. The winners of this match definitely surprised me because I honestly thought Zayn, Owens, and Riddle was going to win, but the Bloodline ended up winning. There was a spot where there was a time where Jay and Solo were kind of getting into it because Solo was about to get ready to spike Jay by accident. And Jay was like, "You gonna do me like that? I'm your brother, your real brother. He ain't your brother." And you know, they kept tagging each other in because, you know, Solo was like, "I'm gonna do my part. Y'all gonna do y'all's part." But eventually it led to Solo blind tagging himself in. Jay took the bro Derek from Riddle. Riddle was pinning Solo. Sorry, Riddle was pinning Jay, and then hey, wrong person. Solo picked him up, hit him with that spike. 1, 2, 3. The Bloodline gets the dub. So we'll see going forward where this storyline goes. We'll see going forward. And then we get the main event of the night. The American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes versus the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a free agent, so he can go about whatever show. Cody is official Raw superstar. This match stems from the night after WrestleMania, where Brock and Cody was supposed to be a tag team. Brock betrayed Cody. We still don't even know why. We still don't know why Brock betrayed Cody, but hey, we here. I figured they had to make this the main event considering who was in it, but Priest and Bunny should have been the main event. I know that's one man's opinion, Priest and Bunny, because considering the high it could have went off of with the show, it would have made more sense to have Priest and Bunny as the main event. But before the match started, Cody jumped Brock. He beat him up with a chair, threw him into the announce table, hit him with steel steps. He jumped Brock. When the match started, it kind of sort of turned into a typical Brock match where, you know, Cody was trying to hit all his moves like the disaster. Cody, you know, a lot of Brock's matches now are finishers and signature spams. And literally, Cody hit the Cody Cutter a few times, hit the disaster kick a few times. Brock was hitting his suplexes. At one point, Brock hit an exposed turnbuckle, so he was sporting the crimson mask, as they say in the wrestling business. But Cody hit he hit some other stuff, but then ultimately he hit like 2 crossroads in a row. Brock kicks out. Eventually, Brock hits Cody with an F5. Cody kicks out. And then Brock locks on the Kimura lock. And somehow Cody was able to pin Brock down. 1, 2, 3. Cody wins. Dips the fuck off. And that's literally the end of the night. So it was like, I get it. Why y'all made this the main event. But from the way the crowd was acting and the way the crowd would have reacted, Bunny and Priest closing out the show would have made a lot more sense. Because the high of that match, and to kind of bring it down with these 2 matches, Priest and Bunny 100% should have been the main event. But yeah, overall, it wasn't a bad show. Definitely, if you don't want to watch the whole thing, definitely watch Bianca and Io, Priest and Bunny. If there was anything, watch those 2. So, if you're new here, or if you've been here, you know, we like to do the whole prediction thing where we like to predict the winners of matches, and the winner usually be champion. Dizzle was the current champion, and after last night, Jaeger and myself tied, hence the name Le Co-Champion. So 50-50 champ, y'all, with Jaeger Bombastic. But after Double or Nothing weekend, with Double or Nothing Night of Champions and NXT Battleground, I don't know why I'm about to say Barricade, NXT Battleground, we'll see who comes out champ. But Le Co-Champion. Thank y'all for tuning in. Whether you love it or hate it, don't forget to rate it. Thumbs up, thumbs down, perfectly thumbs up. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tag that notification bell so you know when we premiere videos. Shout outs to my tag brethren, Lip Dizzle, Jaeger Bombastic, Juggernaut 097. And once again, whether you're new here or whether you're returning, we'd like to sign out with that Too Sweet. And this video will be on both the Less Than Stealthy Ninjas, which is my other group I'm part of. Shout outs to Run Your Miss and Cosmic Boss, and the tag page. So cross promotion here. cross promotion. So this would be a Car Chronicles review on the Ninja side, Hot Tag on Tag side. There you go. You know what I'm saying? You gotta maximize everything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta give the people what they want, as Excalibur likes to say. But sign out with that too sweet. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to tag out. Peace.